Hi, hello once again. Welcome to Africa Trade Fair TV. My name is Kwesi Appiajen with my brother Genoid. Today we are here to talk about the topic: how can an entrepreneur become successful in a difficult times? Welcome, my brother.
Thank you.
So far, we have really taken our viewers through a lot, so we don't need to be pondering on some of the stuff for the sake of time. So, how can an entrepreneur become successful during difficult times?
Okay, so one of the main things that I would tell any entrepreneur starting out any endeavor, period, is the bottom line is when you before you start, you need faith.
Oh, wow, that's good.
That's I would say that's one of the foundational principles. And this is not talking about religion. It's not talking about any of those things. It's talking about a principle, a foundational principle of success is you need faith. Because without faith, you can't do anything.
Wow.
So I would say starting off, you need faith in order to get through regular business, and especially during turbulence times, like for example the pandemic. You need faith to get through that, and faith is basically seeing that you're gonna go through this storm, but you're gonna come out on the other side.
Wow.
During that time, you're not gonna die. Your business is not gonna fall apart. You're gonna have difficulties, but you're gonna get out of it. So that's
Wow.
faith.
That's good.
um, to tie in faith with determination, because you have to be persistent. Determination is a very critical thing. And now I want to go deeper into determination. Is that um, it's called the 10x rule by Grant Cardone, and you need this especially during difficult times
Wow.
because you face a lot more problems. The economy's not the same. Customers are not buying. People are going online. People are, they're social distancing. So you have to be able to, combat all of those things going on. So you have to be very determined,
Wow. That's
right? To tie in to determination. Oh, let me go back to determination. There's something called the 10x rule, like I mentioned, right? So what the 10x rule basically is you're taking 10 times more action, 10 times more thoughtfulness in what you're doing so that you produce those results. And you might overproduce, but it's better to overproduce than to underproduce,
you are right.
right? So that's basically what the 10x rule is. Persistence. Persistence is basically like the brother of determination. They're kind of like the same. They're like twins. So you need both of those. It's better to have two fists in a fight than to just have one, right?
Yes.
So there's a saying: persistence breaks down all resistance.
Okay.
Right?
That's good.
Persistence breaks down all resistance. Um, Another principle is creativity, especially during difficult times. You got to find a way. How am I going to reach my customers? How am I going to get people to buy my product, to buy my service? So you have to be creative. Um, these are just some key things to be successful. Another thing is the ability to deal with problems as they arise, and that comes with mental and emotional toughness because you're going to feel like, man, this business is going to go down if I don't do something, so you have to be able to say, okay, let's address this problem instead of sweeping it under the carpet.
Yeah.
And then because if you sweep it under the carpet, eventually it's going to become a problem. You can only sweep so much until you start a heap.
Yeah.
Then you might trip over that heap. So you got to be able to say, you know what, let's deal with it. Sweep it up, throw it in the trash. So as an entrepreneur, that's something that you have to do. And that's mentally as well as problems in your business, dealing with those inner fears and those inner difficulties. Another thing is continuous learning. Most successful people, they read at least 10 books. The average American reads one book a year.
Wow.
So how can you expect to be successful if you're not up you're not knowledgeable, you're not up on like the latest business secrets, the business tools that you need. So you have to be very well educated and learned. And so there's a quote on that actually that I want to let you guys know about.
Yeah.
And basically, the quote says, and this is taken from the Bible, which is it's a very good resource for success in life. And it says in Ecclesiastes 10, verse 10, if an axe is dull and one does not sharpen it first, then one must exert more force.
Wow.
But it's profitable to be skillful and wise, right? And another version of that says, if the iron is blunt and one do not whet the edge, which is sharpen it, then he must put more forth strength. But wisdom is more profitable to direct. So basically, it's saying that, if you're not sharp mentally, you have to put more force out, right? But if you have knowledge, if you have wisdom, you'll be more successful. It'll
Wow.
be easier, So that goes with continuous learning. You should never stop improving.
Yeah.
And I said that in one of our previous videos. You should always be learning, always stay up on the latest technology, the latest knowledge out there. You'll be more successful, especially in difficult times.
Sounds good.
Another thing is reinventing yourself in your business. Sometimes you have to die to yourself because that version of yourself was based on a certain level of learning.
Wow.
So sometimes you have to give up, the person you are and the person your business is, because your business is kind of like a person.
Yes.
You have to give up, like, okay, this is the version of my business or myself, and it's not working in this situation. So don't give up basically, your core principles, but give up like that old model that's not working and adapt a new version of yourself, a new version of your business that's going to be successful for those times.
Wow, that's great.
So those are the key points that I want to make.
Oh, okay. Wow, that's
Right.
great. I mean, I really appreciate your insight. That's very great. Yeah. Thank you very much. So before I add mine, kindly like, subscribe, and share for us. But before then, let me add this one. In order to be successful in difficult times, first, you have to avoid doing nothing. When a situation comes in, you don't have to run, you don't have to be discouraged, you don't have to be despair, you rather have to confront the situation. I watched a video that was a lion trying to attack a small dog.
Mhm.
And it was kind of shocking. The very first time I got to know that a lion can be defeated in life. I was just, yeah. The dog actually put up aggressive attitude and started barking so aggressively towards the lion. And the lion stood looking at the dog, a just tiny dog, and then it turned away. I mean, the most shocking thing I've ever seen in my life. So, which means no matter what happens in life, it takes you, your courage, and what is in you, and your attitude to
You're
tackle
right.
down the problem.
You're
How
right.
come a lion have to flee before just a tiny dog, a puppy?
See, to touch on that is your mental attitude,
Yes,
right?
mentality. Yeah.
That determines a lot, because if you have a negative mental attitude towards a problem, you're going to have negative results.
Wow.
If you face it with a positive mental attitude, a lot of times you'll have more success.
Yeah.
And that's a great point that you made.
Yeah.
That's a very great point.
Yeah. So, which means any problem that actually occur or comes your way, you are the only person that can solve it. The solution lies in you, but nobody else. More to the point, you have to be much more factual than fictional. Deal with facts. Don't deal with lies. If the business is not going well, just face the facts. Don't paint a picture that things are going well, whereas things are not. As my brother said, you have to be. Don't pretend, don't fake. Just face the facts and then adopt good strategies and policies to deal with the problem instead of faking. Again, you have to cement your relationship with your previous customers. Maybe as an entrepreneur, you had an issue with a customer, and then because of that, your relationship actually soiled. Instead of letting the person go, you need to find a means of dealing with the customer. Let me tell you a secret. There's one powerful tool or powerful thing when it comes to informations, mostly what people separate about you. There was a man who was taken to court for collapsing somebody's business. And do you know what happened? The person actually got envious of the entrepreneur. And with a little problem, he decided to separate false information about him. And the business owner didn't really take him serious. And before he knew it, the number of customers were reducing. It kept reducing, reducing, reducing before he realized nobody was coming. And as I said, the customers are the true owner of the business. Why? Because they have to bring in their purchasing power to buy from you in order to keep you moving. They are the people we have to please, we have to impress in order to keep our business alive, sustain growth, and then making of profit and success. So the information the person secreted about the business owner actually polluted the minds of most of their customers, and as a result, they turned off from him. And he got affected, the business went down. And the business owner, getting to know the harm the person has caused him, rather took the person to court. And then the person was trying to defend himself by telling the lawyer he did no harm because he just secreted a message. And the lawyer actually asked, "What message did you secrete about him?" And he told him in court. He said, "Okay, if you feel you have done nothing wrong, let me show you how effective and how harmful an information can be to somebody." So he asked the person who was defending himself in court to write all the informations that he secreted about the business owner in on a sheet of paper. So when he did that, he asked him to cut it into pieces. And whilst he was going out, he has to be spreading it out throughout. So he went home, he did that, and he spreaded or scattered all the pieces of the information that he has written on a sheet of paper all around. And during the time of judgment, the lawyer actually told him to go back and follow the steps and then collect all the piece of papers that he circulated or he threw around and come back when he's able to collect all of them, meaning he has done nothing harmful to the business owner. And as a result, he will go free of charge. And interestingly, he went back and none of the information could be found. None of the piece of paper could be found. So the attorney or the lawyer asked, "So where are they?" He said, "I couldn't find none." He said, "Then where would they be possibly?" He said, "Either winds have scattered them away or people have picked them." And he said, "Then have you seen what you have done to this man?" Meaning the information that you scattered, wherever you stood and said it, it didn't stay there. It has been scattered, it goes. Around. And whilst people get to hear of those informations, they kind of take it serious and act upon. And as a result, it will end up having effect of what? On the business of the person. So most of the customers, when they are grieved and you don't settle with them, the kind of information they will pass around about you will definitely affect the business. So what you have to do is you have to bury your pride and then settle with them. Because if you lose one customer, it's like you have lost the whole business, you have lost the whole world. Because just an action from them will definitely affect the business. So you have to find a means of settling your beef or your issues with your customers. And then use the situation to rethink the business. When there is difficulties or challenges, you need to give a pause. You have to sit down, analyze, think critically as what actually caused the challenges, what actually caused the problems confronting the business, and find a means of handling it or solving it. Furthermore, you have to be careful of whom you mingle with. Those people around you, do they give you good advice? Are they helping in the growth of the business? If not, you need to exempt yourself. Then you have to use your time to get out and chase the business. At times you are too reactant, and as a result, it will affect the business. So you have to go out, put in an effort, just find out from your customers what is wrong, find solutions, and then put up good measures and policies as a means to overturn the situation in order for you to be successful. And then more so, you need to prepare to try something new. As I said, we are in a more technological era. If you adopt to that outmoded things, trust me, we are moving in the pace of time. The customers will move because you may not be satisfying them. So what you have to do is you have to move in the pace of time with technology, something to make your business run effectively, efficiently, as a means to delight and satisfy your customers so that they will go with you. I think Brother John want to add something. So when he's
So,
done,
so to kind of piggyback off of what he said, a lot of these big companies, the reason why they're so successful is they have so much information on you.
wow,
They have so much data, right? And you can use that data and kind of anticipate. Okay, what can I show this customer that he'll be interested in based on the information that you got? I'm not saying that you guys should use, the data collection system, but you guys should, look at trends that's going on, and this is stuff that you could do your own research on. Look at what are people buying, what are people into. You know what I'm saying? Stay up on the latest trends, and you can Google that.
wow,
They have Google Trends, and there's other resources out there. Stay up on the trends to say you want to be relevant. You don't want to adopt the dinosaur philosophy when you're living in a technologically
yeah,
people are going to the moon and you're still on this old principle that's
yeah,
not working.
right.
If it's working, then keep to
Yeah,
it. But you want to stay up to date on stuff and stay relevant to
well,
your customer.
that's good. And to add to the point, you have to invest in yourself. Like always, you have to upgrade yourself. As I said, we are in a more technological era. So always you have to move in the pace of time. You have to go for training, go to business seminars, business conferences, get much more and fresh ideas as a means to move out with the time so that you don't be outmoded and be left behind. As I once said, if you stay late, you decay because you'll not be needed anymore. So you'll be left behind. Furthermore, you have to find a mentor through that situation. When there is difficulties, you need to find a business mentor, somebody who is ahead of you, who can actually give you the advice and the guidelines as what he or she was able to navigate through his or her situation and then draw experience from it. And lastly, you have to learn from experience. As I said, you have to get a mentor, learn from their experience, and learn from your experience as well. To end it, let me ask either Brother John will add something before we end the whole session.
Basically, there's one point that I want to make, and it touches on value. And this is during good times and bad times, and especially good during bad times. You want to be almost irreplaceable. You know what I mean? And basically is when those difficult times come, you are so valued, your company's so valued, your service is so valued that even during those difficult times, yes, you may face financial losses, but you won't go out of business. So you have to go into business and say, how can I be irreplaceable? How can I be so valued that even during the difficult times, people are still coming to me? I'm still bringing in revenue. So that's something that you have to cultivate to say, okay, how can I be irreplaceable? Because you can create something like that.
Yeah.
Why during the pandemic, Apple was still making numbers? They were
Wow.
still producing. During the pandemic, when people are losing their jobs, how are they still making money? You don't need an iPhone.
Yeah,
You don't need a
right.
$400,000, $500,000 phone. You don't need it during those times. You need food. You need to pay your bills. So why are people going out there buying this phone? There's something that Apple did, whether it's in their marketing, whether it's in their product, that lets people say, I'm still gonna go buy this,
Wow.
even during the pandemic. So you
Yes.
can also do that with your business. And Apple is just one of those top brands. You can do the same thing. Just follow, like that system and that way of thinking. How can I be irreplaceable, or how can I provide so much value that even though in those difficult times, they're still coming to buy my products or
Wow.
services?
Okay. Thank you very much. So, thank you for watching. Kindly like, subscribe, comment, and share for us. And to end it all, you have to be relevant in business. And mostly, you need to confront your challenges. Don't run away from them. The solution lies in you. Thank you. God bless you. See you another time. Take care. Bye bye.